fight could really be a major fight that a lot of people are looking to see? When did you know that?
When the people start talking, and obviously everybody around try to make this fight. I say, look, it needs to be big.
Fight doesn't happen if you're never born, right? You made this fight happen. Why this fight?
Not me, it is who behind.
I like Crawford, get right to it.
Why?
Because he's like the first time you went from regular TV, which you've been doing a long time, to 3D. He's different. Really, that's the simplest way I can say it.
The showdown between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez evolved into a spectacle worthy of its hype. Canelo himself acknowledged that the bout was simply too monumental to pass up. Initially hesitant to accept the fight, the overwhelming interest made the matchup feel historic as fans worldwide tuned in. To witness two elite champions clash, the energy surrounding the event proved it was more than just a fight. It had become a global phenomenon.
You know, I take this fight because you can see how big is this fight, no? At the beginning when they say, hey, you thinking about fight Crawford, I say, never thinking about that. But you can realize how big is this fight, no? Mexican, always Mexican versus USA is big. And two of the best pound per pound. And I think this fight is huge and means a lot for me.
When did you realize, when did the moment hit you that this fight can really, really be big? This fight can really be a major fight that a lot of people are looking to see. When did you know that?
When the people start talking, and obviously everybody around try to make this fight. I say, look, it needs to be big, right? Because Netflix, Riyadh season, everybody interested in this fight. So that's when I realized how big is this fight.
Crawford felt like initially you needed some convincing because you thought it was a lose-lose proposition, whereas you're fighting the smaller guy, and if you won, you wouldn't really get any credit for it. Was that what you were thinking?
Yeah, but if you think well, I've been in that position.
Saudi advisor and chairman Turki Al-Sheikh remarked after the bout that the event transcended boxing, aiming instead to create a once-in-a-lifetime experience. He stressed how meaningful it was for fans, particularly since this might be Terence Crawford's final showcase on such a grand stage. For Turkey, hosting the fight before an international audience carried significant importance, as it highlighted the legends performing at their peak, while also preserving a moment in boxing history that would be cherished for generations.
My country and my boss, you know? But really, if you look at as a business, this fight will not happen if we are not involved as Riyadh season, Saudi Arabia. This is truth. Because even with what the relationship with Netflix, and we are very happy about it, still this fight costs more and more.
Speaking of cost more and more, for everyone who watches it, everyone already has a Netflix account, so they're not paying anything extra for it.
Yeah.
You, however, are the guy who just paid hundreds of millions of dollars for a pay-per-view fight that you wanted to see. So people like to get their money's worth. What do you want to see from this fight?
First, not what I want to see, what all the people around the world, and you are fans of boxing, want to see. It's taken too long, but thanks God, without the support behind me from my government, my leaders, the Crown Prince and the vision, and without the love of the fans, we will stop not complete. This is what push us. This kind of fight, special Canelo Crawford, I want to explain it to you exactly why it is important and the fight of the century. Canelo is the biggest name in boxing now, and Crawford undefeated and have the chance to be undisputed for the third time. Maybe this is the last fight for Crawford, and for Canelo, it's mean a lot for his fan in North America and South America and all the world. He doesn't want to get beating from guy getting up.
Renowned trainer and commentator Teddy Atlas, appearing alongside ESPN host Stephen A. Smith, lauded Terence Crawford even before the historic clash began. Atlas made a striking analogy, describing Crawford as the boxing equivalent of moving from 3D to digital, a metaphor capturing his extraordinary sharpness and elevated talent. Atlas highlighted Crawford's adaptability, precision, and composure as qualities that distinguish him from nearly all other fighters today. Once in the ring, Crawford validated those predictions. His fluid transitions between orthodox and southpaw stances, his rapid read of opponents, and his swift tactical adjustments demonstrated why experts trusted his abilities. Facing one of the era's most accomplished champions under intense scrutiny, his poise illustrated his evolution as a complete fighter. Globally, audiences witnessed exactly what Atlas had foretold, a boxer redefining the sport's highest standards. Crawford's performance extended beyond mere punching. It pushed the craft forward, leaving fans feeling they had witnessed a new chapter in boxing history.
The day I used Betamax, and then that was good. It was cool. VHS, VCR, all that stuff. I still got them actually. And all of a sudden, digital came around.
There you go.
He's digital, really. And I'm not knocking Canelo for all the people out there that want to pull their arrows now and start slinging shots at me. Hey, that's okay. That's fine. But I'm not knocking him. He's a good, solid guy. He's
Good,
tremendous.
solid guy. He's 63-2, Teddy, and has never been knocked out. And this guy
Wait,
was
what's
fighting
his
him is
record?
moving up.
What's-
63-2.
Wait, what's his record?
63-2.
By who's accounting?
What do you mean by who's accounting? What are you trying to say? That's
what
he
am I
said.
trying to say? There's a couple fights there that you might be able to argue there. Just a little bit.
Okay.
Sudden with Triple G. Just a little bit. A little bit, I mean, you're insulting him a little bit. Like in a movie with De Niro.
I'm not insulting him. I'm pointing out the facts. But here's my point to you, Teddy. He's 63-2.
Lara, how about the Lara fight?
Hold on.
You want to go back further?
Okay. What about Madrimov with Crawford? I'm just saying.
No, he beat Madrimov. He didn't look the way we want him to look.
Okay.
Because stepping up for the first time to that weight class, he didn't look the way that we wanted to say, oh my God.
Stay with me. Let me ask you this question.
And Madrimov was not getting the credit for the kind of fighter that he was.
But let me ask you a question, Teddy Atlas. He didn't look the way you wanted him to look, moving up from 147 to 154. Now he's going from 154 to 2 weight classes to 168 against a guy who's 11-0 at the 168-pound limit and is entering his 12th fight undefeated and has never been knocked out.
Yeah, VHS digital. Did you worry about that jump when you went from VHS to digital? No, you just said we're at digital now, and it looks good. It looks really good, and you look great. No, you do.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You look tremendous.
Well, I'm just saying. Listen, I believe in Crawford too, and I believe that Crawford is one of the top 2 fighters on the planet. But he is moving up 2 weight classes, and when people look at him going up against Canelo, here's what they're saying: he's got to keep his distance. He's got to hit, stick, and move. He can't.
Canelo Alvarez, the 4-division world champion, entered the fight with his path already defined. He has openly shared plans to retire within the next couple of years, having achieved nearly every milestone a fighter can dream of. From unifying championships to headlining massive stadium events, Canelo's place in boxing history is firmly established. Against Crawford, his performance reflected both his enduring skill and his determination to solidify his status among the sport's immortals. His focus had shifted from winning titles to shaping the legacy he would leave. Once the gloves were finally set aside,
Think you'll box?
I don't know, maybe 2 more.
2 more years.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to accomplish that you haven't yet
No,
accomplished?
I already accomplished everything.
So there's
And I
nothing
did
left.
everything in boxing. Yeah. So I'm fine.
When this is all over for you, maybe in 2 years from now, what do you want to be remembered for?
One of the greatest fighters in the boxing history. That's why I'm here. That's why I start boxing. So I'm doing good.
I think you've already accomplished that.
broadcaster and analyst Simon Jordan emphasized the remarkable consistency and longevity of Canelo Alvarez's career. He reminded audiences that from his teenage debut to becoming one of boxing's most marketable pay-per-view stars, Canelo has shouldered immense expectations and delivered repeatedly. Jordan noted that very few boxers maintain elite status for over a decade, yet Canelo has done so across multiple weight classes. The fight itself illustrated these points vividly. His ring intelligence, composure under pressure, and ability to exploit minor openings reaffirmed why he is regarded among the era's greats. Each tactical adjustment revealed a depth of experience few challengers could match. As new champions emerged, Jordan's comments underscored Canelo's rare longevity, highlighting that sustaining dominance over younger, stronger adversaries is extraordinary. The bout further cemented his legacy as not just a champion, but a defining figure of his generation.
The interview, we went even deeper on it.
He did. Look, Canelo's achievements speak for themselves. You see, he's been around a long, long time, 20 years as a pro, and he's beat some of the best fighters out there for sure. I think that Paulie there is referring to him avoiding Benavidez, the fight that everyone's wanted to see and wanted to make. He's been picking and choosing his own opponents, and he has had some easy options. And he gets an opportunity to go in against Terence Crawford, or Terence Crawford gets the opportunity to go against him. Look, whatever way you want to look at it, I think that you cannot deny how good Canelo has been. He has adapted, he's had to adjust. He now, he stalks forward, he hunts his prey, but he single shots to the body, single shots to the head, and that's why I think timing for Terence Crawford here could be
Duke, me and Spencer have got Terence Crawford. How do you think this fight is won and lost?
Yeah, I think this fight is won for Crawford by sticking to his boxing, which he does beautifully. From the outset, I thought Crawford would win this fight, simply because
you're in our game.
He's a great boxer, right? He switches from left to right effortlessly. He's a good stayer. He's got that spite that you need as a champion. What he's done has been done before, albeit many, many moons ago with Sugar Ray Leonard, when he moved up and boxed Donnie Lalonde from welterweight to super middleweight, but he stopped off in between that and boxed Marvelous Marvin Hagler. So that's probably a harder route even still, but I feel that it's a stone difference. It's not really that much, not when you look at the bigger picture. A stone in weight is a lot of weight, of course it is. And sometimes you don't even want to give away a pound in weight, but the fact that he's putting on a stone of pure muscle.
UFC President Dana White, speaking as both a promoter and fight enthusiast, called the bout the biggest boxing match of the modern era. With 65,000 tickets claimed, the atmosphere was electric from start to finish. White labeled it a war, not merely a fight, and the action in the ring fully justified that description. Each exchange was met with deafening cheers, and the fighters delivered a spectacle that felt historic throughout. The magnitude of the event made clear it was more than just another championship fight. It had become a defining cultural moment.
All I care about as the promoter of this event is that it's a good fight. Over 65,000 people are coming in for this fight live. Who knows how many are going to tune in around the world on Netflix, but what I want is when it's over, everybody turns off the TV or walks out of the arena and goes, I'm so glad I came to this fight.
That's the war.
I mean, I could sit here for an hour and break down the fight, both ways for both guys. But what I truly believe is because Crawford's moving up in weight and this legacy thing is so important to him, he's going to come at Canelo. And you know how Canelo is a counterpuncher and hits hard, and I think it's going to be a war.
Boxing commentator showbiz The Adult reflected on the sparring footage between Canelo Alvarez and rising welterweight talent Jaron Boots Ennis that emerged before the fight. While only brief clips were publicly shared, those sessions have taken on historic weight considering Canelo's performance under the bright lights. The sparring was viewed not merely as practice, but as a proving ground where Canelo challenged himself against one of the sport's most explosive young fighters. Even in short glimpses, the footage displayed the intensity and precision he brought to training camp. Ennis, regarded as a dangerous emerging talent, provided resistance that further honed Canelo's preparation for the main event. After the fight, fans and analysts revisited the clips, seeing them as part of the narrative showing how Canelo meticulously sharpened himself for a historic matchup. In hindsight, the sparring sessions became a rare window into boxing greatness.
Now legendary sparring session with Boots Ennis and Canelo Alvarez, all right? In looking at the footage we have, they show their feet. They don't really show much, and that's good, right? Whatever happens in sparring stays in sparring. You don't want too much revealed. But I think, you can pull something from the footage. Like, post-sparring session, you could just see how friendly Canelo Alvarez and Boots Ennis are. It's mutual respect. You can just see, and it just feels like Boots gave Canelo some good work. I think if Boots didn't, I think Canelo wouldn't respect him as much. I think Canelo would be like, all right, get out of here. I mean, they couldn't even leave the gym. They kept saying bye to each other over and over and over again like it was a bromance.
Who said he needs some rounds? Huh? Who? You ain't see him come back to swarm. Oh, yeah? You don't want... All right, see you tomorrow. And more, if they're scared, they go faster. If they are scared, more faster.
Bro, you know what that is. You know what that is. It's like if somebody whipped your ass and like, all right, there, boy. What? Wait.
Former super middleweight champion Caleb Plant, who previously shared the ring with Canelo, spoke highly of Terence Crawford in the build-up to the fight. Plant called Crawford exceptionally strong and powerful, and the bout confirmed that assessment. Crawford's punches carried genuine force, even moving up a division, and his imposing presence ensured Canelo could not simply dominate him. Observers highlighted how Crawford's combination of pinpoint accuracy and unexpected strength earned him respect from one of the toughest fighters of this generation.
Tell you what I think is best for each fighter, and I think, you know, if I was able to give my advice to Terence, it would be, I think that he should box on the outside, or I think he should be all the way inside.
Wait, all the way inside? That would sound like, no, you don't want to be on the inside because, like, Canelo could land body shots.
Yeah, but Terence is a great inside fighter. He's ridiculously strong, and I think the most dangerous place for Terence to be would be in the mid-range, chilling this far from Canelo, at this distance, where Canelo is able to get a lot of leverage and be really explosive, as opposed to what I did to Trevor McCumbee, where I stepped all the way to the inside. And, you know, do you want to be this far away from a baseball bat, or do you want to be this far away from a baseball bat?
This, here.
Exactly.
They can't extend.
They can't gain the same momentum. And just fighting on the outside, sticking, moving, running around, moving around, using his legs for 12 rounds could be a lot. Where, as opposed to him being smart on the outside and moving, and then picking his times and getting all the way to the inside and going to work, and then going all the way back out, all the way back in, all the way back out. But I think chilling at the mid-range with Canelo.
Veteran fighter Gabriel Rosado cautioned that Crawford would need to exercise extreme care against Canelo, considering the Mexican champion's history of competing against naturally larger opponents. That advice proved accurate during the exchanges. Canelo's ease against physically imposing fighters was evident as he absorbed shots calmly, while countering with authority. For Crawford, the test was balancing respect for Canelo's experience while asserting his own game. Rosado's insights highlighted the razor-thin margins in a matchup where size, skill, and tactics converged on the sport's grandest stage.
He's adapting to the weight. It's his natural weight. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Crawford gotta be real careful in the middle round.
And I've heard you say this before. Look, it doesn't matter if you're sparring with heavyweights in sparring.
Yeah.
You're sparring with 68-pounders, 75-pounders in sparring. When you get clocked with them 10 ounces with no headgear on, it's a different game, a different story. Drop down on that for us for a second. What is so different about it? Is it just a jolt? Is it a shock? What's the difference?
It's different just because it's just the pop. You know what I'm saying? You know when you're sparring heavier guys, it really, it means something, but it's 16-ounce gloves and it's a headgear. So it's not the same effect. But you know what I'm saying? And Crawford and Canelo being the same size right now and the same height, people go, oh, well, it's even.